Hello, my name is Bradley and I'm your host of The Internal Game. Okay, so last week was about how you cannot manifest your way out of a dysregulated nervous system, right? Like it's not going to happen, right? So this week, kind of in the same kind of ballpark, right? I want to remind you that you cannot manifest your way out of being human. Now, spoiler alert, uh, we are God, right? We know this, right? But the beauty of this whole thing is that we came here to be human, right? Human, right? Human beings, not human affirmings, right? Human beings, not human trying to accomplish something, anything other than myself, right? Human beings, not humans, human attachers, right? Human beings, not human chasers and uh, can whatever, right? But we're human beings. Now, granted, is all this stuff like the forgetting and uh, the chasing and the attachment and uh, being human doers trying to achieve something other than themselves, like, is this part of the human experience? Of course it is. Of course it is. But the idea that we came here to do, the idea is to awaken from this dream of thought. Now, like my man's Alan Watts said, once you get the message, hang up the phone. Right? But a lot of times we get the message like, hey, maybe we're spiritual beings. Maybe we're God playing human being for a little while, right? Like, holy shit, this is really cool. We're creators of our own little focal point reality, right? Awesome, sweetness. And we're also part of the collective creation. Cool, sweetness. And then we let the mind, because we're a lot of times we're human minds pretending to be human beings because we're so identified with the mind that we let the mind turn this newfound spiritual way into an image, right? Another chase, more seeking, just in this direction of spirituality, right? Um, Learning about things so we can get things like our person and uh, our money. Again, nothing wrong with these things, but I want to remind you guys, like, seriously, take this into consideration here. You are here to be human through the chaos. That's the fun in it. Like, that's the actual fun in it. Is coming here not knowing. Now it seems pretty legit when it comes to suffering, right? Like, no, this is crazy sucky, right? But that's the fun in it. It's like what my man Eckhart said: suffering is necessary until you realize that it's not. Once you realize that it's not necessary, and you start to realize that you're not, your mind, hang up the phone. You got the message. Now continue on your kind of solo uh, self realization, realizing there is no self, all this stuff. I love Eckhart Tolle. That's my guy. But like, I'm not like just super still and silent all the time like that. I'm like a monk and a misfit. You know what I mean? I'm like stillness with teeth, right? And what I wanted to talk a little bit today is about being authentic and being human, because you can't escape being human. If you didn't want to be human, you wouldn't be here. If you didn't want to be uh, a part of this beautiful kind of just everything experience, you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't have done it. You're here though. Okay. Now, no one's taking your suffering from you. Like, if you're watching the video and you're like, no, like, I'm not trying to wake up and I'm not, like, that's fine. No one's going to take that from you. But if you are, then like, what I want to tell you is stop seeking. Be authentically yourself. Even if you're like looking at it from a lens of manifesting, like, would you accept yourself? Like, actually accept yourself? Like, who could reject you? I mean, there's no rejection, but who could reject you, right? If you believe that, people feel about you how you feel about yourself, and people respond to you, and if you believe these things, That's what's happening is you reject self, so the world at hand appears to reject you. That's it. You abandon self, they respond. You think you're not enough, they respond. Very simply put. And you really have no reasons as to why, like really solid, actual proof reasons as to why you're not enough. Now, like, you have maybe some belief systems, or maybe thought about something quite often, and kind of came to some conclusions, maybe even got a little proof, or as we call it, reflection, and to kind of reaffirm this. But nonetheless, there's not, no one's ever given me a good reason why they're not enough right now. Carl Jung talked about the shadow, right? And I'm not here to talk about shadow work, because like through acceptance of self and through presence and witnessing your mind, and disidentifying, that stuff will make sense of itself, right? But he talked about how the shadow is just your rejected self, literally. Like, you're just like parts about you that you think are parts about you, and then you think are unworthy, not enough, and you reject them in yourself. And then we project them onto the world. So we're constantly hiding, pretending to hide ourselves in fear of rejection, which is carrying the seed of rejection, which is causing us to be rejected because we initially rejected self. Failing to realize in its entirety that we're just here to be human. There isn't one person that's better because they do this or they do that. Like, you're just human. Like, no one looks at dogs that way. No one looks at trees that way. No, like that one is better than the, like, it's like this Ram Dass that talked about that. Like, you don't see trees as different. They're just trees. Human beings, my bad. Human minds. Human mind identification is the only thing that does this, by the way. Is it thinks that something else is better, they're not enough, or they're better than something else, but not enough over here. Because once you start playing that game, you got to play it everywhere. Because you're going to be better than someone, you're going to be less than someone over here. It's just like it's a thing. And but human minds are the only thing that do this. And when we believe that we are the human mind, we do this. And believing that we're the human mind is part of the human experience, until we realize that we're not the human mind, and we get the message and we hang up the phone, right? So you have zero reason as to why you're not enough right now. I don't care what you look like. I don't care what you've been through. Um, I mean, if you don't have any hair, right, or you do have hair, or you're taller, or you're shorter, or you're from some place, or the color of your skin, it doesn't matter at all. Actually, you're enough. You are literally God playing human being for a little while, forgetting that you're God, and then came here to remember, but also be human. That's why I say, like, I like to be stillness with teeth. Like, I don't want to just not participate in the human experience. That's the beauty of it. The heartbreak, the part of it. The loss, part of it. We're form. Everything's going to leave at some point. Form is going to dissolve, return back to source. Like this, it's just how it goes. All of it is part of this experience, right? I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they were saying like how they were just glad that it all worked out the way that it worked out. And I was like, yeah, what's there to be upset about? Like, it led us to right here. Everything's fine right here, right now, right? You can be authentically you. Like, I love to teach presence. I also love to teach. Well, people want to manifest things like that, cool. But like, I'm gonna bring it back to presence. I'm gonna bring it back to a state of being, things like that. These things are great teachings. I love them. But I also love being a human being. And sometimes when we find out about manifesting, and of course, the mind's going to complicate it. Like, we have to do these techniques and do this thing and learn this thing and jump to this teacher, jump to that teacher. Um, Nothing wrong with that. But I mean, like, in hopes of this person doing it for you, right? And we complicate it, and we just forget to be human and live life, and just appreciate all of the experience. Like, I could be a guide, right? Like, but I'm not your guru. I can tell you that. I don't want to be a guru. I just want to be alive. You ever heard that? You ever heard that song by Strumbrella's Spirits? It's like, I don't want a never-ending life. I just want to be alive while I'm here. Like, that's my. Like, I'm not trying to be in this particular human body forever. I just want to be alive while I'm here. And I want to learn some things along the way and share them. And I want to live and go through things and have challenges. Like, once you're in a human body, you're going to have challenges. Eckhart Tolle, probably he probably wouldn't think ideally of this, but like maybe one of the more enlightened beings to I guess be in a body has challenges. Like, a lot of the challenges come from us thinking that we shouldn't have challenges and just resisting life, thinking that like we can't go through something. But that's the beauty of this whole thing here. Literally, like we think, like it was Eckhart that said, a lot of our problems arise because we have this underlying belief that it shouldn't. So we resist it. And you guys know about resistance, right? We keep these things at play, but most importantly, we just suffer and keep fighting life and stop living. And then we find out about manifesting because we're feeling uneasy, and we're like, oh, let me manifest my way out of this stuff. Let me manifest my way out of a dysregulated nervous system. Let me just get the person. Let me just get the money. Let me manifest my way out of being human being because I'm God now. It's like, yeah, calm down, killers. Like, you are God, but you're also human. Like, as long as you're in a human body, you are here in the human experience. I'm the monk and the misfit, the stillness with teeth. I love this human game. I like lots of human things, if you know what I mean, right? Lots of like human things, because that's what God came here to do: experience itself as a human, to come and explore through me, through you, through everyone and everything, everywhere, all at once. That is big as. There is no self-concept cooler than that. There's just not. Like, you're already that. Please, for a second, just think about that. If you have to pause the video to think about that, please do. Think about how, like, this God, this consciousness, is you, is me, is everything, is the grass, is this tree, everything. Everything, everyone, everywhere, all at once. And you are this, and you are actually creating your own focal point, but you're God, like the same way that the sun ray is the sun, kind of thing. And that is extremely, extremely cool. There is nothing that's wrong with you. There's nothing that is rejected about you, aside from you rejecting yourself, believing something that's not true, believing that you're a little me, little mind, believing that you're a human mind, and then pretending to be a human being. What could you do today? Like, please, just for, I know I've been kind of asking you, maybe begging you a little bit about, like, stop and trying to manifest for a little while, because, like, what are we doing? I can assure you, if you stop trying to manifest for a little while, like, just live your life, dude. Remember, like, the video back in the day, live your life, have fun, know it's done. Like, and if you're not having fun, just don't create any problems for yourself, right? Like, internally within the mind. But, like, to just stop doing that for a while, because these things will come to you anyway, because you're no longer offering a needy state and a resistant state, and really trying to make something happen. You're just living, and that's what's going to find you anyway, right? So, but, like, not just for that, but just because, like, this is the moment right here, right now. This is the only moment we have. Be authentically you. Just do shit. Like, just explore your God playing human for a little while. This is what you came to do. Like, if you have found, making sure it wasn't Buddy that's coming up on me, as Bailey. Buddy got sprayed by a skunk, and I have to clean him after this video. But anyway, uh, if you have found these channels from heartbreak, um, losing things like that, your identity really being threatened, right? Things like this, or being confirmed, probably more like it. You've been in pain, right? Like, you've been in pain, and whatever it was, it got you here. I can only speak for this channel, but it got you here to me, and I'm telling you, stop the chase. I'm not your guru. Never have been, never will be the guru, and I don't want to be. That's too much pressure on me anyway. Like, And I don't want it. But I can be your friend. I could be a guide. I could be a teacher. I could be, I'd be here for you. But like, there's not much else to say. You're not your mind. Be present. Be aware. Be authentically you. Give yourself permission to stop seeking stuff, including teachings, and start just being. Start just living. Start doing some things that you like to do, that you want to experience while you're here. This is a very, very, very short time in the grand scheme of schemes, right? That you're in this particular human body. Learn to start accepting yourself fully. How about, instead of watching my videos, anybody, I mean, just videos in general, like, I'll just speak from mine because I want to tell you not to watch anyone else's. Um, I don't know what their game plans are, what they're trying to do, but I'm saying, for me, next time, why don't you focus on breathing, focus on accepting yourself, focus on like really looking at the illusion of the rejection of self. Walk by a mirror if you have to, and just be like, hey, I love you. There's nothing wrong with you. I don't care if you got fat that you don't like. I don't care if you got uh, no hair. Don't care, and you care. You're not no hair. Don't care. You got no hair and you care. I don't care if you. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you have certain fantasies about things that you think are shunned. I don't care what, like, the reason these things seem so heavy is because they're repressed. You have rejected. You have stuffed them down, and you think that you're not worthy, you're not good enough, and that you're bad. Right? 99% of this stuff that you think is bad, if you would just learn to accept it, not reject it, it would do what it does. It would not have a hold on you anymore. You would stop thinking that you're bad, and it would release, or you would integrate it into like something in your life where you're like, oh, this is cool. But nonetheless, like, you wouldn't be walking around with a fucking state of being of rejecting self, not just for not getting things, but to not experience life, not to really, because that's what's gonna happen. You'll be scared. You're gonna think people are thinking about you what you think about you, and you're gonna be scared of it. Eventually, they're gonna show you that they think about you the way you think about you, because everyone is just so pushed out, right? So, how about, instead of trying to become something different, and, oh, I got to change my beliefs from this belief to that belief so I can get chosen, get loved, I'm the best, I want to be the sexiest person in the whole wide world, baby, yeah, right? Instead of doing that, how about you just accept you right now? Right now. If you do that, you are going to be actually in a state of being as these things that you say that you want. Like, I want to be the sexiest, I want to be this, I want to be that, I'm the best, I'm this. Just accept yourself now. Stop resisting you. And for the love of the God, for the love of you and me, please let yourself be human, right? Just because you find out about manifestation, just because you find out that, oh, maybe I'm God, or like maybe I'm presence, maybe, like, just because you find out about these things doesn't mean that, like, you have to be perfect. You already are perfect, but I think you know what I mean. Doesn't mean that you have to, oh my God, and then we add more layers of this stuff of resistance to self, and more rejection of self, more self-hatred, more because we're not doing something right. Because we, oh man, I got lost in mine. Oh man, I sent the text, or the text SP I shouldn't have. Oh, I did this. Like, just chill. Chill. Even if you accept that, like, man, I'll send a text to whoever I want, bro. I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm good. And you accepted that, then it would be fine. Like, instead of just being like so scared all the time, just accept yourself. Be human. Be human. You're a human being. You're a human being. That's what you are. Well, you're not playing a human being, but you know what I'm saying? Don't don't minimize this experience all the way down to trying to manifest somebody or something so you feel whole. It's not gonna, number one, it's not gonna work. Like, you'll get your manifestation, but it's not gonna cover up what you think it's gonna cover up. Like, you will be about as happy with anybody as you are right now. You will be content with anybody is about as content as you are right now. And if you want to really start to get rid of this unease that's in self that causes you to look for things outside of yourself, um, start accepting yourself. Start letting yourself live. Start really noticing that there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. I don't care what it is. If you got like some kind of wild fantasy, you're like, oh my god, I shouldn't think like that. I don't care if you got some, because that's what a lot of times that's what the shadow stuff does. The rejected self. It kind of sometimes it turns into like um, a sexual fantasy, right? There's also like I don't care what it is that you think is wrong with you, or that that's bad, or that like is you're fearful of people rejecting you, so you rejected yourself first. Just start being present, start being more accepting of self. Everything that you do, if you find yourself lazy today and you start to resent yourself and you're like, oh man, I don't know why I do this, I want to do more, I want to do more, just accept the laziness. Stop resisting yourself. It's not even, just accept that, hey, I'm laying in the bed today. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. And whatever you accept fully turns into peace. So if you accept this, then you're just going to, you'll see yourself pull out of this resistant type of rejected place. You will see it. Like, stop fighting you. Stop fighting life. Like, stop waiting. I was talking about this yesterday in a school group. Stop waiting, because it seems to be a common theme, not just with everyone, right? Not just people in school groups or on memberships. I mean, everyone waiting for something to happen so they can finally start living life, which is saying that my life, my state of being is dependent on you. My happiness is dependent on you. And if I don't have it, then I just can't be it right now. Which is saying I'm just not enough as is, which is rejection of self, which is going to get reflected. And who gives about the reflection? Why are you doing that to you? You don't have to wait. You're human. Just literally go live. Go fucking live, dude. Okay. Well, there's nothing wrong with you. To recap, please start accepting yourself. Like Carl Jung, I think would call some of the stuff like integrating the shadow, like looking at it, seeing what it is. But like, it's just about, I guess you can call it integrating, like integration, right? But like, it's just about like just saying I'm enough as is, dude. Like, nobody thinks that there's something wrong with you except for you. And then because you think that, people reflect this, and you're like, oh man, something's wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you. Like, you can't, even if you took on a new self-concept, or like or got the person or the money, like, you can't manifest your way out of being human. It comes with challenges. It comes with it with sometimes the opposite of what we want. And then we do our best and remind ourselves that we're human and that we can be authentically human. It comes with all of it, my friends. It comes with all of it, not just the good. And when we only want just the good, right? What we deem good, that's when we really start to cause some issues for ourselves. Uh, that's when we start waiting to live life. That's when we start like being really resistant to now, because we only want the good stuff. And many times in my life, guys, like the stuff that I thought was bad, had I not went through that stuff, I wouldn't even be here talking to you. I wouldn't. I wouldn't know what compassion was. I wouldn't know how to be a friend like that. Like, I wouldn't be able to understand, like, oh, someone's going through something. I wouldn't be able to do any of that. But because all that stuff happened, all the drinking, all the heartache, all the turmoil, all the abandonment, I was able to have enough pain, start to wake myself up, and then I was able to talk with you guys. So, was it bad? No. Right. So, let yourselves be human. You can't manifest your way out of being human. The only way of doing that is to return back to source. And I'm pretty sure you guys want to be here. So if you're here, stop fighting. Stop resisting yourself. Stop rejecting yourself. Be human. Be authentically you. Wear what you want to wear. Say what you want to say. Rock what you want to rock. Sleep with who you want to sleep with. Do whatever it is that you feel like you need to do. And stop rejecting yourself. You'll realize that all this stuff that like seems like this strong pull to do and be bad and all this stuff that like you realize that like it's just a rejected part of self that's just trying to like come up and out. You start accepting it. And then we get in the manifesting communities and we think, oh, I can't be myself. I don't want to say what I'm really thinking. I don't want to do that because I'm supposed to be God. I'm supposed to be uh, spiritual. I'm supposed to be not any of what I've been thinking. That God is everything. You can be whatever you want, but you stop rejecting yourself and watch how this integrates into a very more livable, reasonable type of dynamic. Because the only reason it feels bad is because you're rejecting it. The only reason you think you're bad is because you're rejecting it. And then, of course, it stays inside. We fear people seeing it. We start pretending, start being things that are not us. And is it inauthenticity? And the opposite of not authentic, it gets reflected back. People can feel it. Okay, so be you. Just because everyone's pretending doesn't mean that you have to. Be free. Don't be chosen and uh, I mean, you will be, but like, don't try not to affirm for things like that. Just be free. Watch what happens. Be free of judgment of self. Like, just if you catch yourself, be like, oh no, I'm good. I'm good. Can't manifest your way out of being human, and it's okay to be human. What's not okay to do is reject yourself and cause problems for yourself, and then project this onto the world, and then blame them, and then suffer. I mean, you can do it, but I don't think you really want to. So that's all I got. Thank you guys for listening. The the monk, the monk and the misfit, and stillness with teeth is out.